question that we have everybody from retirees to college graduates to people who are in professional jobs. As the U.S. market rebounds, do you start to pick up some names here? But they fell below August lows yesterday. What does this signal for the markets in the week ahead, and how are the heads of stock exchanges reacting to these unbelievably volatile markets? Joining me now, Nasdaq President and Chief Operating Officer Adena Friedman. I'm so glad you're here in Davos, because that's precisely the question we'd love to have answered. How do you deal with that? The Nasdaq has been in lockstep with all the drama that's been going on.
Well, first of all, thank you very much for having me today. Well, the markets have been very volatile, and it is important, though, to recognize that this level at the market has occurred twice already in the last 6 months. So there has been volatility, but we also are finding that once the investors they take the emotion out of it, they're able to start to look at those fundamentals, and as you've said, start to look at the companies that are in fact very good companies that may have been oversold. So we're excited to see that the markets are up today. We're hopeful that people start to realize that the fundamentals have not fundamentally changed over the last month, and therefore, as the emotion comes out of the market, that they start to look at the market in the current environment.
One of the indicators people look at is companies going public, and Nasdaq is a leader in IPOs. What do you see for 2016? Because many of the companies, not all, but many of them that went public and had these great moments at the Nasdaq and ringing the bell and doing all that you do over there, they're trading below their IPO price.
Well, I think that companies that are very strong companies with great business models will do well. The issue is, of course, over the cycle. They have to be patient with investors as the investors learn their stock, learn the strength of their business, and continue to communicate with those investors. I think with regard to 2016, there are some very good companies that are waiting to enter the market.
Are they delaying?
And they have been delaying. So there were a few stocks that actually wanted to come out this month, and they were ready to go on the road show. They believe that their investors will be receptive to them in a normal market environment.
But not now.
They want to make sure that there's an inviting environment for them. So they have chosen to push those IPOs, and they're probably waiting week by week to see whether the markets will stabilize and create an inviting environment for them.
You've been doing this a long time. You started as an intern. You folks, you hear that? You started as an intern at the Nasdaq many, many years ago. You've climbed all the way up. But have you ever seen a time like this where cheap gasoline doesn't seem to be a net positive for consumers because they're nervous?
Well, I think you have to look at short-term versus long-term. So in the short term, when emotion enters the market, you tend to see people potentially looking at one signal and addressing it, bringing it across an entire sector or bringing it across multiple sectors. And then once they take the emotion out and they start to look at the fundamentals of the business, they start to realize that lower gas prices can be very good for consumers and consumer goods. And companies that look at having discretionary money allows them, therefore, to sell more of their products.
We're still waiting for them to see that, because right now people are selling stocks and they just seem to be concerned. Although today, you know, the Dow, let's see if it can hold this gain of 99 points. And the S&P is up about 7. The Nasdaq is up just a fraction at the moment. You know, I didn't mention that yes, you started as an intern, but then you went to Carlyle. You helped take the Carlyle Group public, which is great to be on the other side of that. Now you're back at the Nasdaq as COO and president. I have to ask, you're going to kill me, but is the CEO job eventually yours when Bob Greifeld decides to leave?
Well, I was offered the COO title only about 3 weeks ago, so I'm very new in my role.
Let me push you. Your mother would push you, so I can push you.
I'm really excited to have the businesses that are rolling up to me now. So I have all the businesses rolling up to me, so that I have an opportunity to look across the entire portfolio of what we can offer our trading companies, our issuers, and our exchange clients, and make sure that we're bringing the best of all of Nasdaq to them. And I think that I have a great responsibility and a great opportunity in front of me in the current role.
You wouldn't turn down the CEO role, though, right?
I'm always happy to serve Nasdaq.
There's your line. Well, I'm sure they're quite pleased with the fact that you came back, and it's a great story. And certainly here at the Davos Forum, I'm sure you've learned a lot about what's going on in the economy. Do you think we tip into a global recession?
We're not here to be market predictors. We're here to make sure we can operate efficient and effective markets that allow buyers and sellers to find, ultimately, the right price for every stock on the market.
Well, keep us posted, because you had a great IPO the last of the year, Atlassian, which they call not a unicorn, but a Pegasus. Have you folks heard that title of Pegasus? It's a unicorn worth more than $1 billion that actually is profitable. It can fly. So Atlassian's still a great story?
It is a great story. That was a wonderful IPO. It priced above expectations applications. It went into the market and went up that day. It's essentially a B2B collaborative software tool, and it really is an amazing story, based in Australia, but also really a global operation and profitable, as you said.
They came to you. Biotech comes to Nasdaq.
That's right.
It's a great story. Adena, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Adena.